So he decides, and of course, there's so many different ways he can get to the mountaintop. He can take a horse, he can take a mule, he can take a camel, but instead he takes the donkey, and that's why it's known as the donkey story. So he gets on top of the donkey, and everybody's like, yeah, man, he's finally going there, man. We got him, man. You know, everybody's high-fiving, you know, hugging like, man, it's going to be all right.
Why did he pick a donkey?
Because the donkey was the best means of transportation. It's like the Tesla between all of them at that point. You know, the ground and everything. I mean, he was well off. They bribed him, but out of everything, he chose the donkey. So let's find out. Why is it that the donkey is the choice of, you know?
And donkey's a Ferrari.
Hey, exactly. If donkey's a Ferrari, okay. That's a new one. But so he gets on top of the donkey, and the donkey starts to move forward, you know? And everybody's like, hey, man, when you get up there, man, you know, like this, man, you know, the thumbs up and everything, you know, just nail it, you know? But not too far after they left, the donkey decided not to go forward. So the donkey sits down. And so they're like, hey, you okay? And so he starts to beat the donkey and then yell at them and tell them, I told you this won't be a good idea. But anyway, the donkey gets up, and so he's like, okay, well, I'm still going to be on my way. It happened like 2 or 3 more times, whatever, right? But then finally, lo and behold, he does make it to the mountaintop so that he can, you know, make his supplication in front of God for Musa never to enter into Jerusalem, right? So he puts his hands up, and they're like, yes, yes, he's there. Yes, yes. Do it, man, do it. This is going to be good. And what does he say? Oh, God, help Musa and his people against them. And they're like, wait a minute, man. Listen, do you hear what he's saying?
Betrayal. It's wrong.
And they're like, hey, man. You're messing it up. And then he said to them from that point, I told you this was a bad idea. Again. So then right up, he hops on top of his donkey, and donkey's glad to be speeding out of there.
Did he slap the butt?
And when he gets back, by the time he makes it back to camp, or to the, you know, to his side, his tongue is hanging out of him. Yeah, his tongue. Allah Ta'ala had given him a deficiency in the tongue. So he said, see, this is a proof that I am done, you know, in this life as well as in the next. But I have an idea for you. If you implement it, then Musa won't be able to enter. And they did take his advice, and Musa never entered Jerusalem. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, tells what happened in the camp of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. When Musa told them to follow the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they told Musa, you and your God, you go. And we're going to wait here until you're done, and then we'll come meet you there. Okay. So the earliest stories, well, you'll have to, well, how old are you? You're how old?
15.
15? Okay, you I can talk beyond for this particular story. But
I'm 21.
No, you're not old enough.
I'm 9.
You're definitely not old. You're not old enough. Well, maybe
11.
you are. No. No, it's still, no.
21.
But the story goes on to, you know, and, you know, a clear breach of clear breach of commandments and protocol. And for sure, again, Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, he never took. Now there's another story where Musa goes with 70 of the people, of the children of Israel, and he takes them to where he's talking to Allah. He's speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is a different story. That's the story of the cloud. Story of the cloud. The story of the, what story?
Cloud.
No, I'm not talking about that one.
The story of the donkey?
The story.
The cat.
Any questions about the story of the donkey? Any questions? No? No. That's good. That's good. No stories. No questions. I have a question.
What? For yourself?
What's that?
For yourself?
Okay. For you. All right. The question that I would like to ask you, after, in the lineage of prophets, who was the third prophet in the order of prophets? Yes.
Noah.
Yes.
Noah or Idris?
Idris, yes. Alayhi salam, yes.
I don't know really.
Yes.
I don't know. No, that's not fair. She cheated.
The third prophet in Islam is Prophet Musa.
What?
Yeah, this was a story of Prophet Musa, guys, okay? This story is from Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. You should know. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You should know that Prophet Musa is the third prophet in Islam. He is the most mentioned prophet in Islam. The stories of Prophet Musa are the most in the Quran. Okay, he's most mentioned in the Quran. After Prophet Muhammad, you have Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. Ibrahim is the second prophet in Islam, the second prophet, as in ranking, the ranks of prophets.
Oh,
okay, ranks of prophets. So you need to study, why Ibrahim is the second, why Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, alayka wa alayka salatu wassalam is first, why we must understand his legacy, mainly his legacy. You have to understand the culture of your Quran is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam's legacy. So that's the thing there. And then you have to know about the companions of the Prophet. You have to know about the prophets themselves. What is it? You like the story?
yes.
Okay, well, there you go. Then. Can you, is this really
That's
necessary?
real money.
Are you sure? How is it yours if you gave it to me?
Exactly.
That's what I would like to know. You.
Because you give it to him and that means it's his now.
All
I
right.
said it was him.
Why did you give it to me?
Because I felt bad I was late.
So it's his.
So you need to give him more money because you always be late.
I know.
Oh, he's trying to reinstitute. Okay.
Bribe him.
Oh, I see.
Can I have my money back?
No.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Okay, so this happens to do with the why is Musa and his stories, why are they so plentiful in the Quran? Why do you think that is? The story, they have the story of the quail, they have the story of the golden calf, they have the story of the sea splitting for them. They have the story of the water gushing out of the stone. This is all Banu Israel story. They have the story of the fish. They have the story of the cloud. They have the story of the donkey.
Not the way.
What else they have? The story of the snake. Okay. So the story of the whale happens to be on the list after the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. We also need to discuss Bilal. Okay, Bilal, the Mu'adhin. We need to discuss him.
Sahabi?
The Sahabi, yes, Bilal ibn Rabah.
Adhan?
Radiallahu anhu, yes. So, understanding their lives and their legacies are, ideal. Very good, inshallah. Anything else? Anything else? Well, who's after Prophet Musa alayhi salam? What prophet is after Prophet Musa? What is it? Yusuf. Whale. No, Whale is not a prophet. Astaghfirullah. It's the city of Wales. This is one of our cities. Yeah.
Prophet Isa.
Prophet Isa, yes.
Don't know.
You don't know. Pass.
Prophet Adam.
All right, it is Prophet Isa. All right. So the prophets in order are who? Who are the prophets in order? Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu wassalam. Alayhi salatu wassalam. Prophet Ibrahim, alayhi salatu wassalam. Prophet Musa, alayhi salatu wassalam. And Prophet Isa, alayhi salatu wassalam. Okay. So inshallah, you really have to come closer and most passionate to the thing. So the next is what? If I have a tashdeed and I also have a dhamma, or I have a fatha, or I have a kasra, what happens? If I have fathataini, kasrataini, dhammataini, and I have a tashdeed, then what happens?
It adds an N.
Yes. Yeah, strengthens it a whole lot more, right? Than the normal one.
Are we finished with the donkey story?
The donkey story?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, there's a part where I'm not really allowed to tell to people who are, younger than your brother. Well, it's you have to be of that age. That's why. I mean,
people tell me nothing about things.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why you have to look beyond what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to look at the circumstance behind. But the story is actually in Ibn Kathir, also Jalalaini. These are books, volumes on tafasir. And, the Tafsir al-Kabir, it talks about, what happened and the idea. It's basically the idea that he gave them. That's the bad idea. That's really the bad idea. Any army that is used against, they will definitely fall.
I'll tell
Pray
no
to
one
it.
that you told me that.
Huh?
I'll tell no one that you told me it.
Oh boy, he's trying to bribe me. Listen to this. He's trying to bribe me into getting him into. I tell you what you'll have to do is you'll have to catch the segment.
No money anymore.
So we have to explain it to kids, just like we explain stocks to kids in crypto.
I just took off a hair on my iPhone.
Did you see the stocks for kids video? Or no? You didn't see that? The crypto video? Buying and selling crypto at Arabin and stuff like that?